What is going on, guys? I'm going to try something different here, a weekly rundown of my runs. Today is October 14th, but it's also day 288th of running every day this year from January 1st. And some days I've been running more than 2 miles. So again, I've been running at least 2 miles every day. And today I ran 15 miles, which is longer than I ran in a very long time. And I also ran in the rain. My shoes got dirty. I was running on trails. So I think anytime you go running, it helps to have a second pair of shoes, which I had this time. This was a lesson I learned the hard way. So anytime you go running, for whatever reason, especially if it's raining, it's good to have a second pair of shoes handy in the car. So by the time I got back, I was able to change, and my old shoes are still wet, so I'm gonna have to dry them off. And they're fairly new shoes, which is a little awkward, but it's okay. I ran with a running group, so I really was able to see how other people run, and this was a group of like amateur runners, but there's some people that put in maybe 60, 70, maybe even 80 miles a week. That's in terms of kilometers, that's maybe 150 kilometers. So I ran about, just to give you an idea, I ran about 30 miles this week. 15 miles, I think that was most of it. But then I ran maybe 2, 3, 4 miles before that. And, just like last week, for example, I ran 10 miles. So for me, this was a pretty big jump, and I ran 10 miles on Saturday. So that was my long run. Before that, I ran again, 2, 3, 4 miles. And, some of these folks, they run, again, 80, 90 miles a week. And so that's really tells you how much dedication they have, and how much time they put in terms of getting better. So a lot of other folks that I was running with were training for the Marine Corps marathon. It's a pretty big race in DC. So I think, I was motivated to keep running by having these folks around me. They were going, and I was running with them. So it was interesting to hear some of their stories about how they got into running, what they were doing in terms of preparing for the race. So I do, if you have a chance, I would try to join a running group and go for a long run, because that's sort of a good way to not just meet people, but hear a lot of very interesting stories that people tell. And sometimes they're not all about running. The other thing too, I want to say, I was running in Rock Creek Park, which is a park that goes straight through Washington, D.C. And when you're running in this park, you don't feel like you're in DC. You're surrounded by hills. You almost feel like you're in the mountains somewhere, in a few places by streams. I was running on a dirt trail, so that's how I got dirty. And I was running on asphalt too, but it's a very scenic place to run. And if you're new to running, I would not recommend running 15 miles right away. Start out by running half a mile, and then gradually work your way up depending on your fitness level. As far as fitness goes, I'm really in the home stretch of my 3x100 push-up and sit-up challenge. So 3x100 is 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 days. And I've got a little less than 30 days to go on that. So I'm starting to think about my next push-up challenge. Really appreciate all the support that I've been getting, especially on TikTok, about this challenge. Received some questions. For example, is this challenge, is it making any kind of difference? Do I feel stronger? Do I feel any kind of results by doing this challenge? And I want to say that absolutely, I feel some results. And the first result is you're getting better discipline just like I'm running every day, at least 2 miles. I'm getting better at everything else I'm doing. I feel like I'm happier. I got a routine, and it's good for your health, but it also improves your focus. It improves just your happiness, and I think and it also improves your discipline. So I think by doing 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups every day, you're getting better in those things as well. Also, I think the other improvement is in terms of time management. What I've learned to realize sometimes the hard way is that you don't want to start doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, especially if you're new to doing that, if you're not used to doing that late at night. Do not recommend it. What I've been doing, or what I've been trying to do, is really sets of push-ups and sit-ups throughout the day. And sometimes it's hard to pick those spots, those open slots, when you can actually do those push-ups and sit-ups, depending on what other things you've got going on. So I think time management is really the big benefit that you're getting. And finally, I do want to say that I'm getting stronger. I feel like I'm seeing a difference in terms of my muscles, but that's because the more you put into a push-up or sit-up, the more you get out of it. So gradually, I've noticed my form has improved. I'm starting to do a much better push-up. My sit-up, I think it still needs a little bit of work, but I think that's been getting better too. And the better push-up or sit-up that you're doing, the more, for example, maybe it will take you more time to do that push-up or sit-up, but the more results you're getting out of that. So that's how I would answer that question. And also, today marks 1,000 posts on Instagram. I've opened up my account a few years ago, and I really appreciate all of your support, especially the folks that follow me. I think your content is awesome, and it motivates me. So hopefully what I'm posting, what I'm sharing, motivates you. And I would just encourage you guys to keep doing what you're doing, and look forward to a lot of great posts. Guys, that's all I've got. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.